Good evening. Tewksbury Zoning Board of Appeals for April 25th, 2019 is in session. First order of business is approval of the minutes from September 27th, 2018, October 4th, 2018, October 25th, 2018, November 29th, 2018, and January 31st, 2019. If nobody has issues with any of those minutes, we can just do one motion and approve all of them.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. First continued hearing, please.
Attorney David Plunkett, on behalf of 18 Victor Drive, LLC, and 1608 Main Street, LLC, under Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 8, as a party aggrieved by a decision made by the building inspector and a letter dated February 27, 2018. Said property is located at 1608 Main Street, Assessors Map 72, Lot 34, zoned commercial.
We have a letter on this one. They're asking, I hereby request that the pending appeal for the above referenced matter scheduled for the hearing be withdrawn and dismissed without prejudice. If someone would like to make a motion to withdraw without prejudice.
I make a motion to withdraw without prejudice.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Robert Soka and Tiffany Soka for a variance from Section 4132 of the Tewksbury zoning bylaws for maximum lot coverage to construct a two-story addition to the existing single-family home as shown on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 41 Patton Road, Assessors Map 51, Lot 124, zoned residential.
On up, please. Grab a mic. State your name and address for the record, please.
Robert Soha, 41 Patton Road.
There's two mics there if you want to pull both those mics down. Thank you.
Tiffany Soha, 41 Patton Road, Tewksbury.
Thank you. All right. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing, please.
So I'm looking to put up a two-car garage and a new breezeway porch with a second floor on it, so we can add a master bathroom and a walk-in closet to the onto the second floor of the breezeway.
You're going to put a two-car garage, a bathroom, a breezeway, and a bedroom above.
Yeah, there's already a breezeway there that exists, but it's sagging and there's no foundation under it. So I was told by the contractor to spend the money to make that right and tie it in. It's better just to go with a whole foundation under it and tear off what's.
I understand.
And plus too, there's like a 10-inch drop down when you go off. This would be level with the porch, the floor of the kitchen.
You need lot coverage.
Yes. Everything is within the parameters and setbacks. It's just we're allotted 20% maximum coverage because we're 10,000 square feet.
Yep.
And I think with everything we're doing, it's 23. It would be 23%.
That's your deed. When was your house built?
1952.
And how long have you lived there?
9 years.
You have town sewage over there?
Yes.
Yes.
You gonna tie into it?
Oh, we're
We
already
did.
tied
We already
in.
tied in. Yeah, we tied in probably about 4 years ago. I don't know the exact date, but it.
Any questions, board members?
No questions?
No.
How big's the garage that's there now? Are you doing the same footprint? Or is it bigger?
There's an existing garage now. It's 15 feet wide by 22 feet deep.
15 by 20? Is that what you said?
Yes, yeah. Or 14 by 20. It's right around there. I don't know the exact dimensions. I believe it's 15 by 20 or 22.
Including the breezeway or not including the breezeway?
It's detached
It's
currently.
detached. It's set back.
So where's the breezeway that's there going now? You said you had a breezeway now, right, that's
Yeah,
sagging?
so we're demoing the mudroom that exists and then building a new one and attaching it to the new garage.
So is the breezeway a mudroom or a breezeway?
It's currently a mudroom.
Okay, so the breezeway and the mudroom are the same room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not really a breezeway, though, it's detached.
Because I have a breezeway at my house that leads to my
Okay.
garage.
Yeah.
That's
I could be just confused with the terminology.
the
of
mud,
it.
well, I'm looking at,
Sometimes we call it a farmer's porch, sometimes we call it a breezeway.
Exactly.
So,
because I'm looking at your proposed garage, and I don't see a breezeway on it.
It is
It could be a mudroom.
It is attached to, it would be attached to the
so if,
addition.
I actually have a picture of the old survey plan. If you want to take a look at that, I could point it out to you.
I don't need that.
Okay, because this is how it exists right now.
Oh, that's not a survey.
Yeah.
I do want to see that.
So what we have now, this is exactly the footprint we have now, minus this garage. The existing garage sits right here. So this is what we have now,
Okay.
and this is what we would demo this and do that.
Can I hold on to this?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Pass that around. System runs back here.
That's how you're gonna
That's what got me. It said detached garage. Whatever. One-car garage there now?
Yes.
Okay. Now I get it.
That's off. Definitely look nicer.
Yeah.
Any questions?
No.
All right. Being a public hearing at this time, we'll open it to the public. If somebody'd like to come and speak, please come to the podium. State your name for the record.
Hi,
How are you?
good, how are you? My name is Colleen Gallant. I live at 49 Patton Road, which is Bob and Tiffany's neighbor,
Which way?
on their driver's sidewalk side.
So you're closest to the
I'm
proposed
gonna be
garage?
right near the build.
Okay, so you're lot 22. Okay.
Okay, so I am the neighbor that will be adversely affected by this proposed plans. These plans will interfere and impact my property as well as my family's use and enjoyment of our home. I spoke with Bob at the last meeting that was canceled about my concerns, but I haven't spoken to him since. I fear that I probably made an enemy because I spoke up. But the proposed build would be about 10 feet from my existing property line. And my home is approximately, the corner of my home is approximately 15 feet to that property line. So basically, right now, as it stands from my home to that property line, there's 15 feet. Then there's another 15 feet, and then there's like a 10-foot driveway, and then there's another 8 feet or whatever for their porch. So I'm that far away from it. That side of the home is my living area, my bedrooms, my windows. The current garage is set back from my home, and it does not impact my privacy or my views or the sunlight going into my windows or anything like that. My mother moved into the home in 1956. I was born there. I have lived there my whole life. I have my twins and my family now reside in there, as well as my mother, who will be turning 86. She would be here today, but she's not well. So the significant adverse impacts to the home would be the encroachment of my privacy, because now when I look out my window, I'm going to see a wall of a garage. Or they're going from a 15-foot, like he said, 20-foot to a what? Would you say it was like a 40, 45-foot now?
No, it's 23 by 36.
Okay, so right now, as it stands, from my understanding, back then, my mother said that my parents signed a paper to allow the existing people that they moved in there, like I said, back in 1956, to have a garage that was detached. They built it behind to avoid the issues of looking in other people's windows. They moved from Somerville, so they wanted to get away from the city. They didn't want people right on top of them, and neither do I. Like I said, it's going to be the noise, the views, the sunlight, not only that, but the environmental issues and him working in his garage. That will be from the general effect of an overbuild on a lot that is that size. When I say such as there's a current retaining wall that is behind his garage that was facilitated by my father with the prior, back then, I forget what their last names were, back in 1957, I believe it was. And then it was built up. So when you remove that retaining wall, which I still didn't get an answer that night, I spoke with Bob outside, whether they were going to reconstruct a retaining wall or build something there, because it is up about 3 feet in one area, and then it goes up about 4 feet. And then the garage is approximately, what, 3 feet from that wall? Would you say about 3 to 4 feet from that retaining wall?
It'll be
The garage
further
is come-
forward.
So,
Let me interrupt for a
I
minute.
can clarify everything.
Let me interrupt,
Gotcha.
okay? The way the meeting is run is you direct questions to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay?
So I'm assuming that that retaining wall is holding the existing garage up. And like I said, their 3-foot wall then becomes flush with my land. So if that retaining wall gets moved, then the erosion of my land, my fence, is then going to be impacted because of the slope that's going down. Not to mention that you have the wetlands that are right behind the home also.
what you're
Again,
saying.
I'm not trying to make an enemy out of my neighbors. Most of my neighbors have added on, created new porches, did existing porches, etc. But I'm literally got my bedrooms in my family living area, so when I open my window now, I'm going to have this building, which is going to be moved up about 15 or 20 feet from my understanding, which then will be in line with my bedroom and living area windows, so
I
our houses are
understand.
going to be flushed.
I absolutely understand the point you're making. I think what I'd like to do, because it is a big garage, it's pretty sizable. I think I'd like to do a site walk. I'd like to get out there and look at this, look at your house, look at how big this will be compared to what you, because I get what you're saying. I get
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
I
like
want
I
to look at this retaining wall. I want to,
because I feel like there's no particular condition or hardship of the land or the structure to approve this variance that will exceed what the law otherwise allowed to be built on this size lot. Not to mention the fact that my parents moved from a city to come into the country. I think it's great that you want to improve your lands like everybody else on the street with vinyl sidings, updating new porches and whatnot. My concern is again, my privacy to my family, my land, the sun coming in my backyard to my gardens,
I
pool,
completely
etc.
understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to say? I get what you're saying. I get it. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
That's pretty much it. I just think it's in the neighborhood too. It's not all of the other similar houses. All of the houses are all pretty much similar in size, and this here will be a huge addition to be put. It's going to make it a little bit awkward, and hopefully it would actually might lower my taxes then. I don't know. But
Don't know
thank you.
taxes never go down.
I
but we know.
Again, and I'm not trying to make an enemy out of my neighbors either.
I understand.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak? Okay. I think what I'd like to do a site walk.
You and him.
I'd like to get the actual measurements of what it's going to be as proposed. 'Cause I'm
What
just,
measurements were you looking for, sir?
the coverage of the lot based on what you're proposing. I know you said some,
23, we're allotted 20% coverage.
And
This
we would be
addition will be
23%.
23% with everything.
Kind of curious too, how much can we take off?
well, I just did a 36 by 35 for the largest runs that you had, and the 34 by 24.5. And it looked like you were only 21, a little over 2,100 feet.
The
You know
surveyor
something?
added the shed as well, I
I
think.
actually think you are correct with that, because what happened was, there's a bump out in the back, I'm sure that adds a couple square feet, and then he also added the shed, which I was told that the shed didn't have to be added, so I think 23% is high. When I did the numbers myself, I believe I got 21 point something, I don't know what the exact one was, but let's say it's 21 point something with the proposed buildings that are going up. I think he included everything just in case, but I think there was stuff on there that he didn't have to include. I actually, if I could speak, I think there's a little bit of misunderstanding here, because I can clarify a lot of those questions that were asked.
Absolutely.
If I may?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the structure is not gonna be 10 feet from her house, because she has about 15 to 20 feet on her side. So we're looking at about 30 to 35 feet,
She said that?
okay? And as far as the garage coming up, the back, her house sits at the same area that my house sits on the lot. And this garage is set back from the side windows on her house. I think she's misunderstanding where the garage is going. Because if you look at the proposed breezeway / mudroom that we're rebuilding, the garage comes up 2 feet more than the existing structure that's there now.
But it will still be behind
But
our
it's still
existing
behind
home.
her window. She looks at the side of my house anyway. The furthest point of the house is the house itself.
Well, she looks at,
It's right here.
The windows on the side of her house will be ahead of the garage.
our secretary was nice enough to pull it up on Google.
Okay,
Earth.
okay. And the retaining wall that exists right now, it's currently falling down. So in the future, I will have to replace it, because whoever put it up didn't put drainage behind it. They didn't do anything right. So it's pushing the wall out, and I've been patching it over the years to keep it together. Eventually, it will be fixed, and it's gonna currently go where the wall is now. But as far as it holding up the garage, you know as well as I do, that wall's about 3 foot high. This garage is gonna be sitting on a 4-foot frost wall that's dug into the ground. So the retaining wall doesn't hold anything up.
I think what she was concerned about is not your garage falling over, is her backyard washing away. Yes.
As far as he's saying that my windows, my bedroom window on the first floor is in line with his porch as it is right now. My understanding by looking at that proposed plan that they have, that porch is now going to be, the garage is going to be with the same line as the porch that is considered to be there right now. Although somebody told me down in the planning area that it looks like they're going to be moving the porch up a little further to the front of the house. Either way you look at it,
The proposed, just so we're all on the same page, the proposed plan has the mudroom, that's what we're gonna call it.
Correct.
Has the mudroom even with the back of the house, okay? Which, I'm looking at a picture on Google Earth, that's what it looks like. The garage is going to be 2 feet closer to the street than the mudroom.
right,
That's
and
the
my
proposed.
bedroom window is equivalent to his porch right now. So you
Mudroom.
now,
Mudroom or porch? Because he has a porch.
I don't know what you call it, the porch, the one that's
I'm calling-
existing right now.
I'm calling the thing that hangs off the side of his house, closest to your house. a
Yes,
mudroom.
that is right now in view from my bedroom window. But I have my 15 feet to my property line. I have 15 feet to his driveway, 10 feet to his porch. So I'm over 50 feet away from him. What he's proposing is to have his line 10 feet from my property line, which then would put me within 25 feet of his building, which will be a wall, which will be in front of that window. So I don't know where he's saying that his current porch or breezeway or whatever is behind my windows.
Because when I designed this garage, and I had it all drawn up and the plans drawn, there's a reason why that garage is going where it is. Her windows on her house are identical. It's the same house, except she has a dormer off the back. I put this garage where it is so it wouldn't block my windows. It sits behind the windows, so when you look out the window,
Your
you
house
can
closer
see
to-
in front of,
Your house closer to the street?
they're the same. All the houses, if you
Well,
looked
he
at
has
them in a
farmer's
line, they're the
porch that
same.
he just added on.
I'm looking at older Google's Earth, and the picture looks like this, so it's hard to tell. It looks like your house is significantly further back than his on Google Earth.
It is,
He's
because
saying
he
it's not.
built a farmer's porch, so he bumped his front of his house out front.
I've got a farmer's porch on the house that I added a couple years ago. It's 6 feet. I had a variance done for it.
Google hasn't come by you yet.
Okay, all right, that's the only reason. Other than that, the houses are on the same size lots, they sit at the same exact spot.
What I want to do, and I think what the board wants to do, is we want to do a sidewalk. I mean, we can look at Google Earth all day long, but I want to go out and look at it. Because I get what you're saying. You know, you're saying you're going to look out your window and see a wall of garage.
Right,
You're
I
saying it's
mean-
back further than that, you won't see it.
But she looks at the side of my house now.
But I have 15 feet.
You know what I'm saying? It's,
I have
But
50
beside your
feet
house is
between
So-
the side of my house and your porch that you don't
You're
live
gonna-
in,
you're
and
gonna-
then your
hold on,
house is
hold on.
another 10 feet away.
Ma'am? Thank you.
I do have a question, though.
Yes.
I understand that we're over a lot coverage-wise, but in terms of our setbacks that are allowed on our lot, we're allowed to go within 10 feet of our property line anyway, so even if we were,
Let me answer your question before you even finish it.
okay,
If your lot coverage was 20%, you'd already have built your garage.
okay,
You wanted a huge garage. You went too big on your lot coverage, so you're here.
okay,
If that was just a little bit smaller and you were 20%,
yep,
by right, they can build it 10 feet from their property line. By right.
I understand that.
But
When I tried
you're
to
not.
talk to him before
You know,
about, the window
you went too
issue
big.
and-
I understand.
So now you're
But,
here.
You know, I'm into old cars, I want to park my old cars, I pay storage for them right now. I want to put my cars in the garage and work on them if I want to. That's, you know what, I'm not building a
30
12 by
36
12
feet.
garage to pull my car in, and I want to have my workbench in there, I want to,
36 feet is a big garage. We both know that. That's big.
I get that,
I have a two-car garage, it's 24 by 24.
yeah.
That-
And
and that's
with
big.
24 by 24, you pull a car in, there's not much room to do much. You can't have a workbench, you can't have a toolbox,
I have
That's
both,
all I'm
but
trying
I
to
get
do,
the point.
you
but
know?
It's a huge garage. You know, you have to understand her concern.
I understand, no, I understand.
Garage also, and then the height of the second addition, that then when the sun comes is going to. Again, I'm in for everybody having improvements, but there was laws made for a reason, and I don't want to have to be looking at a wall or have my kids, you know, be like, geez, I'm in my bedroom and now I can see somebody, or et cetera. I mean.
Well, I think what the board's gonna do is we're gonna continue this. We're gonna do a site walk. We're gonna go out and look at it. We're gonna look at your house. Can you flag it off for us? Stake it off?
Yeah.
Do that?
Yeah, just tell me when you want it done by, and want me to just put markers up where it's gonna be, or do you want me to put string up?
I want markers.
Okay,
I want markers.
Yeah.
We can see it.
yeah,
As soon as you can. When you have it done, let the secretary in the office know,
okay,
and she can make us aware. Do we have permission to go on your property?
Yes, you did.
We have permission to go on your property?
yes,
We're not gonna notify you when we're there. We're gonna show up. We're not gonna show up together. We're gonna show up independently We're gonna walk on your property and we're gonna look at it. That's how we do it. That way, we're not talking about it with you or
That's totally
Okay.
It's just more of a privacy.
anything else you'd like to say? Because we are gonna continue it. We'll be here again. Anyone else have anything?
Actually, would I be able to get a copy of his plan that he's proposing so I can get a better idea myself?
Sure. Yeah, it's, they have them at the office. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, board members?
Nope.
All right, so you'll stake it off for us.
Yep,
Let the office know when it's done.
okay.
Obviously, the sooner the better, that we can get you on next month's agenda.
Okay. We have been approved through the Wetland Commission, and we
have-
reach all those setbacks. Everything's within its parameters.
The zoning board of appeals has, it might not be the best term, but we have blinders,
Yep,
right? So if you're not here for that issue, then I know you've satisfied it. You're not
Okay.
here, you're not here for lot lines, you're not here for wetlands, you're not here for anything other than you're over your 20%.
okay.
So we know that. All right, board members, if somebody would like to make a motion to continue, next meeting is May 23rd.
I'd like to make a motion to continue Robert and Tiffany Scotta? Soka, sorry. For a variance from section 4132 of the Tewksbury zoning bylaws for maximum lot coverage to construct a two-car, two-story addition to the existing single-family home as shown on plans filed with the board. Said property is located at 41 Patton Road, Assessor's Map 56, Lot 124, zoned residential. I'd like to continue till, what was it?
May 23rd.
Continue to May 23rd, 2019,
6:30 PM.
6:30 PM.
Motion has been made.
Second.
All in favor?
All right,
Thank
next
you.
month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next item on the agenda, please.
Thomas Estates LLC for a variance from section 4130, appendix B of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw for front yard setbacks for a farmer's porch as shown on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 111 Fraser Lane, Assessor's Map 24, Lot 58.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members.
Good evening.
Hopefully I can read my own writing because I know everybody looks forward to spring, but my eyes and throat do not. No, it's the blurriness from the allergies, but
These things are like magic.
representing the applicant, which is Thomas Estates LLC, and the property owners, which are Alfred and Kathleen Donovan. The property is situated at 111 Fraser Lane. It's a new home, and as I stated in paragraph 9, the applicants are seeking relief from a front yard setback for a portion of the front farmer's porch. The dwelling itself is situated 27 and 31 feet back from the front yard setback, which is within the parameters of the zoning bylaw. And when they constructed the farmer's porch, they thought that they were 26 to 27 feet away from the lot line, but later found out that that was not correct. If you look at the plan that I supplied to you, in the right-hand corner, upper right-hand corner, I put in a blow-up of the lot. And what happened was the folks that were laying out the building, they pulled a string between the two lot corners and didn't realize that there was a curve in the property line. When you go down the street, the curve is so slight that unless you're a surveyor, you wouldn't notice that there was a curve there. So they thought that they had a foot and a half so to spare, and come to find out afterwards that they didn't. If you're driving down the street and you're looking at it from the naked eye, you can't tell that it's any closer than any of the other houses on the road because it's a very wide right-of-way. So This was an error that was made. No attempt was made to circumvent any of the zoning. It's not like they were too close to the rear setback for wetlands. There was plenty of room to do that. It was just a pure oversight. And we feel that to remove the porch would be an injustice and a hardship to the owners for something that is fairly de minimis.
Where's the curb line? Curb line's not on the red line, right?
No, the curb line is even another 6 or 8 feet further out. So if you were standing on the edge of pavement, you'd be like 34 feet to the porch. And
Anything board members?
there's no sidewalk on that side, the sidewalk's on the other side.
Tolerable.
Yeah.
Honorable as well.
Being a public hearing, if there's anyone here who'd like to speak on this, please step up. Seeing none. Anything else?
That's it.
Anything, board members?
No.
It'd be quite the hardship to rip the porch down for, a foot and a half. It looks like an honest mistake, and it's just a slight curve in that road, and it's still 34 feet away from the street.
I know,
I won't
how,
say
you
curb.
can't even tell.
All right, if somebody'd like to make a motion.
I make a motion.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. We
No.
need to close both parts of the hearing.
yeah.
Anything else? It's been so long since we've been
I
here.
know.
Anything else?
That's it, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
If somebody'd like to make a motion to close both parts of the hearing,
I make a motion to close both parts of the hearing.
motion's been made.
Second.
Second, and all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any discussion?
No. Discussion?
No.
No.
All right, someone like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve Thomas Estates LLC for a variance from Section 4130, Appendix B of the Tewksbury zoning bylaws for a front yard setback for a farmer's porch as shown on plans filed with the board. Said property is located at 111 Fraser Lane, Assessors Map 24, Lot 58.
111 or 110?
It says 111 Fraser Lane. The paperwork says 110, though.
What's the address?
111, the owner lives at 110 across the street.
Perfect. Okay.
I had to look at that twice myself.
All right, motion's been made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You're all set.
Okay, thank you very much.
Tell your surveyors to be careful.
Well, if they had called the surveyors, it would have been right.
They tried. All right, next item on the agenda, please.
Matthew Palmer for a variance from Section 4130, Table of Dimensional Requirements, Appendix B of the Tewksbury zoning bylaws for side setbacks for a 24 by 34 garage addition with room above, as shown on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 170 Bly Street, Assessors Map 91, Lot 57, zoned residential.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Name and address for the record, please.
Matthew Palmer from MMP Construction. Need my home address, or
Do you have that mic? Pull that mic up a little bit.
do you need my home address?
Yes.
27 Henry Taylor Street, Salem, New Hampshire. These are the homeowners here.
Hi. Christine Topkabasi of 170 Bly Street.
I'm Jalil Topkabasi.
Perfect on the mic, thank you. If they're the homeowners, why are you on the application?
I'm the contractor. They wanted me to speak on their behalf.
Yeah, but you're not applying for the variance. Hold on now.
I submitted this notarized letter from them
Submitted it to,
when I did all the paperwork.
okay.
Yep.
All right, I'll go with it then. All right, tell us a little bit about what you want to do.
We're seeking a side yard setback relief for the right side of the home to add a two-car garage with a second floor great room above. So the garage will be 24 by 34 feet total. And the side yard setback, we encroach on the garage portion 3 foot 8 inches on the side yard setback on the right, and 2 foot 5 on the side setback where the mudroom will be on the back of the garage. And the right side abuts town-owned, really,
It's for the electric
for
company.
the electric company. It's for,
To access
yeah,
the
to get an
power lines
access
behind
road.
us.
Is there a walking trail there too?
There is,
Yep.
separated by trees.
Nice little kiosk there. Is that a little sign, little wooden sign on the walking trail? Has it been put up yet?
No,
It's coming. Okay. Members?
I don't have any.
What are you putting on the second floor? First floor is obviously a garage,
Great room.
two-car garage, and just one great room on the top?
Yeah, one big family
No,
room.
no bathrooms, no bedrooms, no, just one great big
One
room?
big great room.
Anything, board members, before I open it to the public?
Nope.
All right, being a public hearing, we'll open it to the public at this time. Somebody here like to speak on the matter? Seeing no one. Garage next.
It must be.
All right, it's power lines next to it. 24 is probably the smallest you're gonna go on a two-car garage. Anything else you'd like to say?
No, that'll be it.
Anything you'd like to say? No? I'm a little hesitant, not hesitant, wrong word, leery. I just, this is just for the future. I don't like that the applicant is you. You've listed an address in Lowell, but you stated that your address is in Salem.
That's where my office is, so, yeah,
Just,
yeah.
the applicant should always be the applicant. It's their house.
Yeah, they said to me downstairs, I said, they said if, as long as I had the notarized letter and even the paperwork that I filled out, it says as long as you have a notarized letter from the homeowners, it's,
I've been on this board a long time, and I think this is the first time, seriously, the first time I've had a different name than the applicant.
the homeowner, I mean,
The homeowner was the applicant. It's their house.
yeah.
I've had contractors that were buying houses, but not,
Yeah, I mean, I've done this in Gloucester, other boards numerous times, so.
I'll run with it. I just,
No,
all right. Somebody want to close both parts of the hearing?
Make a motion to close both parts of the hearing?
Second?
Nothing else you want to say?
that's
Okay,
good.
motion has been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any discussion?
I don't have anything.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. There's a lot of space there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of space. All right. Someone wants to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve Matthew Palmer for a variance of from section 4130, Table of Dimensional Requirements, Appendix B of the Tewksbury zoning bylaws for side setbacks for a 24 by 34 garage addition with room above as shown on plans filed with the board. Said property is located at 170 Bly Street, Assessors Map 91, Lot 57, zoned residential.
Motion's been made,
Second.
seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All set?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, please.
Jack Barabee for a variance from Section 4130, Appendix B, for acreage and front yard setback and a special permit under Section 3630 of the Tewksbury zoning bylaw to raise the existing structure and construct a new single-family home as shown on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 29 Sandy Lane, Assessors Map 94, Lot 361, zoned residential.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For the record, yes, thank you.
Jack Barabee, 2543 Main Street, Tewksbury.
You? All right, why are we here?
I am here to raise the existing structure that is on 29 Sandy Lane and propose to build a single-family home in its place. Basically the same square footage, but it's spun 90 degrees. So if we look at the plot plan, the top one is the proposed, and it's wider and deeper, and the other one is narrow and deeper. Yeah, no, it's wider and not as deep. And the proposed house is narrower and deeper. So I'm trying to maintain setbacks all around, which I comply to that, except for the front yard setback, which we're going to encroach 4 more feet in the existing. This is an existing non-conforming, pre-existing lot.
The front yard for the existing non-conforming, 10?
Pardon me?
What's the front yard setback for an existing non-conforming? Or, you know, the older houses?
Yeah, it's 13, almost 14 right now.
And what's it supposed to be?
25.
When was the house built?
The house was built in 1925-ish. I actually don't know what the zoning was at that particular time, but now it's 25.
How big's the lot?
13 and change, I think.
Right. I thought we were dealing with a 10,000 square foot lot. You're right, it's 25. You know where I was going, the 10,000 square foot lot or less.
Yeah, right, yep.
On the existing one, that's 13.7 on one side, what is on the other side with the, looks like the stair?
Yeah, there's an existing deck there right now. I should have taken a picture of what was there. Well,
I think that existing deck looks like it might even be closer than the, might have less than the 13.7 from the corner of the house.
You have a dimension from the deck to the street. See how you get 13.7 on one corner of the house? And there's no dimension on the other corner to the street,
on the existing?
on the existing.
No, I don't have that dimension, no.
If it's not there, it's typically more.
I mean, we're getting narrower because the more you move the house to the left, to give the 15 from the right-hand abutter, it's gonna get closer to the street, even if we maintain that front line, because they're not parallel.
Property line, though. Yeah, the street is the property line, right?
Yeah. That's the proposed you're looking at. That's another house, and that's the house, but it's in a different location, that photograph.
Do you remember how close that one is to the street?
That conforms, that's gotta be at least 25.
Trying to think, like 9 feet, what's the length of a like a pickup truck or a car. How long is a car?
Yeah, it's typically like 10 foot. I think a parking space is maybe 10 feet.
Right, but
I don't think a car is.
that's my concern, because that is the street, you would have to drive into the garage, but if you put another car in the driveway there,
Well,
it
that
might
would be
actually
grass.
That would be grass.
That corner of it there, if you look at the photo, the garage would be on the right-hand side where there's more room, further from the street.
Okay.
What's the dimension on the proposed on that side?
Sorry, I don't have it.
Yes, you do. $17.91. Did you do that math as well?
No.
If you do the math, it's 17.91 feet on the corner where the garage is.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I was concerned on the other side where I thought it was 9 foot, if that was gonna be like a driveway space.
You made it very
You know, if you pulled in with a truck, it'd be sitting on the street, and
Yeah, that's why I put the garage on the right.
I want to say my pickup is 16 feet long. I want to say that. 16 feet.
So the street ends, as you see, on the plot plan. Sandy Lane ends with the end of the street, and there's just an easement, a driveway easement to access one house. Further down, if you look at the assessors map, see the lot on the assessors map? Question, 361, is it? Yep, 361.
It's not on that. Yes.
Any more questions, board members?
You need a package?
No, I have it, it's here.
I don't have any questions.
Being a public hearing, we'll open it to the public at this time, if anyone's here, like to speak on this matter. None? Oh. Anything else you'd like to say? Anything else you'd like to say? Yeah, somebody would like to make a motion to close both parts of the hearing?
I'd like to make a motion to close both parts of the hearing.
Motion's been made.
Second?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, discussion. I think twisting the house the way it is, you sacrifice a little on the front, but you're gonna get a nicer product in the end.
No.
It's my opinion. It's not, he's not trying to put up a McMansion, he's just trying to put up a
Same type of house,
same type of house.
Different, just,
Nice.
right, nicer,
Nicer.
nicer.
So if somebody'd like to make a motion,
I'd like
we
to
have
make,
to do the special permit first.
oh,
Special permit is to raise. Right. 3630, we didn't even talk about it.
4130?
3630,
Aye.
special permit. 3630 is,
For the zoning, to raise the existing structure and construct a new single-family home. Oh, yeah.
And we just discussed that it's not more detrimental than the existing non-conforming. All right, so special permit first.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Jack Barabee for a special permit under section 3630 of the Tewksbury zoning bylaws to raise the existing structure and construct a new single-family home as shown on the plans filed with the board. Said property is located at 29 Sandy Lane, Assessors Map 94, Lot 361, zoned residential.
Motion has been made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Like to make a motion to approve a variance from section 4130, appendix B, for acreage and front yard setback for said property located at 29 Sandy Lane, Assessors Map 94, Lot 361, zoned residential.
Made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well said.
Great, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, please.
Matthew Granisi for a variance from section 4130, table of dimensional requirements, appendix B of the Tewksbury zoning bylaws for front setbacks to construct a farmer's porch as shown on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 24 Farmer Avenue, Assessors Map 61, Lot 76, residential.
It's a farmer's porch garage night.
I know.
All right. Give me a minute.
Weather's getting nicer, everybody wants to make
Everyone,
their
everyone wants to build a car and sit on their porch. I'm ready. Name and address for the record, please.
Matthew Granise, 24 Farmer Ave.
Paul O'Keefe, 250 Mitchell G Drive. I'm actually the GC for the project, working with Mr. Granise. I thought I could go over a quick overview of what we're doing and answer any questions you might have.
Yes, please.
So Farmer Ave is a dead-end street. We're putting a farmer's porch on it. It's going to encroach about 1.5 feet on one side and 1.6 on the other. The farmer's porch is going to be 6 feet wide. One of the, most people want a farmer's porch. It's a nice neighborhood tribute. Also, in this particular design, if you look on page 11, we're going to bump. It's an existing cape, so we're not ripping up the floor. The floor is staying, but we still want to bump out the ends of the house. Those aren't going to impact the setbacks, but they're actually being held up by the ceiling of the farmer's porch. So yeah, you could do a 4-foot farmer's porch and make the requirements, but it's not practical. There's no room. I have a farmer's porch. I measured my chair tonight, and from the wall to the front of the chair, it's 34 inches. So that's basically it.
So you're bumping the house out 2 feet?
Just the
second
floor.
Second level.
But because if you're doing a ranch, you put new joists and you cantilever them over. But when the floor is existing, now you're just adding a 2-foot bump on the upper floor. Now, those setbacks are well within the limits of the house. It's just the farmer's porch that's coming out a little too far.
Got 4.5 feet from the existing house to the setback limit. We're bumping that portion out 2 feet, so we're still well within range.
Total, I'm sorry. The total is, the variance is for about 1.5 feet?
A 1.5 feet for the farmer's porch.
Yeah, 1.5, 1.6 respectively, each side.
I haven't found the map of the existing lines and measurements.
You have the plot plan?
Well, I'm sure I have it somewhere.
Yeah, it's in there.
You haven't seen it yet? Here.
Got it.
There you go.
I was looking in the big stuff. On the building location sketch, after you remodel, is that still the way it's gonna be? And I understand you're bringing the front out a little bit.
Yeah, it's the same footprint, same foundation.
Everything else is staying exactly,
Garage, deck, patio, all of it?
everything.
Okay.
The only difference in the main structure will be the upstairs, those 2-foot bump outs, which meet the setbacks. Just want to make the farmer's porch a little bit bigger so it flows. You can be sitting in a chair and people can walk by in front of you.
So the existing, the existing house right now is 29.5?
Correct.
Right.
Good, yeah.
How far away from the street are you? How far away from the blacktop? Because your property line isn't the blacktop, is it?
It's right at the line, yeah. Right at the line of the grass in the street. Right
Your
at the-
property line is the line of the blacktop?
Yeah, it's right there. It's maybe a couple inches.
Couple inches makes a difference. Any more questions, board members?
Nope.
Being a public hearing, we'll open it to the public. If anyone would like to speak, seeing no one. Anything else you'd like to say?
Good.
I'd like to make a motion to close both parts of the hearing.
Second.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
All right.
Wouldn't want a 4-foot farmer's porch.
Neither would I. That's why I'm saying issues.
I think it's a
Nobody's
reasonable
here
request. No
to-
impact.
Complain about it. I'm good. I'd like to make a motion to approve
Go ahead.
Matthew Granisi for a variance from section 4130, Table of Dimensional Requirements, Appendix B of the Tewksbury zoning bylaws for front setbacks to construct a farmer's porch as shown on maps, on plans filed with this board. Said property is located at 24 Farmer Ave, Assessor's Map 61, Lot 76, zoned residential.
Motion's been made,
Second?
seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
All set.
Just to note, the lady that was objecting to that garage left her jacket there earlier, and someone brought in the cell phone and put it on
That's
the
mine.
legs. Did you- Oh, okay.
That was my daughter that left it
Okay.
there.
Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Any old business? I hope Jerry has a speedy recovery.
Me too.
Jerry's having a little back problem right now, but he's okay. Any new business?
I'm on my way up to the high school. The high school theater company's putting on Godspell this weekend, so still an opportunity, Friday and Saturday.
Godspell at the theater. Everyone should go. They put on a great performance. And as usual, we're still looking for new members. Please. On my agenda, it says, meetings are televised on Comcast Channel 8 and Verizon Channel 33. I don't know why it says that, but I read it. And our next meeting is May 23rd, 2019. Someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.